Michael DeSanta is a walking contradiction, the kind of man whose entire life feels like one long setup waiting to collapse. He started off as nothing more than a small-time crook raised in chaos, then somehow evolved into a high-level professional thief, and unbelievably, even became a Hollywood producer before the events of Grand Theft Auto V even began. This is a man who faked his own death, betrayed the very crew that helped build him, and literally bought his way into a normal life, a life he clearly can't stand living. Every move he makes screams conflict, like he's trapped between who he was and who he pretends to be. But Michael's story isn't just about switching crime for luxury, it runs way deeper than that. His roots go all the way back to the mid-1960s, growing up in a rough trailer park that couldn't be further from the mansion he later calls home. Unlike his own spoiled kids, Michael came from nothing, and that struggle left marks that never really faded. His father, complete disaster, abusive alcoholic, who eventually vanished without a trace, and his mother. She filled the silence with wild stories saying he ran off, got hit by a train, or even joined the Navy. Imagine being a kid hearing that chaos. That kind of upbringing doesn't just disappear, it shapes everything. Even with all that, Michael had potential. Back in high school, he was actually that guy, the star quarterback, getting attention, making noise, looking like he might escape that life.
Your son, James. He's a good kid?
He's a good kid? A good kid. Why? Does he help the fucking poor? No. He sits on his ass all day, smoking dope and jerking off while he plays that fucking game. If that's our standard for goodness, then no wonder this country's screwed.
But just like everything else in his story, it didn't last. His temper kept getting him into trouble, injuries piled up, and eventually he was forced to walk away from the one thing he was genuinely good at. It's like even back then, his own personality kept sabotaging his future before it even had a chance to take off. By the time he hit 20, Michael had already been locked up not once, but twice. Prison didn't fix him, it sharpened him in the worst ways. Instead of reform, he picked up strange skills and darker habits. Even joking about tattooing his name on a cellmate's backside like it was just another day. That environment didn't break him, molded him into something more dangerous, more calculated, and way more comfortable with crossing lines. His first real score came in 1988. He's pulling in $10,000 from a small business outside Carcer City. That was just the beginning. Michael wasn't just lucky, he was good. He's a natural leader, a sharp shooter, someone who could think under pressure. That's when he linked up with Lester Crest, a mastermind who had become the brains behind many of his biggest plays. And not long after, his path crossed with Trevor Phillips during a chaotic cross-border smuggling run that instantly turned deadly. Trevor was waiting for his boss when he saw two dust trails instead of one, and that moment changed everything. Out of the first car stepped Michael, cool and controlled. The second car told a different story, a terrified civilian Michael had just carjacked. The man started yelling, exposing everything, and Trevor didn't even hesitate. He fired a flare gun straight into the guy's eye, ending his life in one of the most brutal ways imaginable. They dumped the body in a lake, but Trevor later admitted the image stuck with him, the flare still burning inside the man's head. It was that disturbing. Both of them threw up from the smell, but instead of tearing them apart, that moment bonded them in the darkest way possible. From that point on, they became a team. Michael saw value in Trevor, despite the chaos, and pulled him in as a partner. Together with Lester and others, they started pulling jobs across the Midwest, chasing bigger scores, bigger risks, and bigger money. But it was never stable. Trevor's violent outbursts kept bringing heat, while Michael's habit of quoting movies during jobs made things even more unpredictable.
I mean, let's face it, Amanda. We're trailer trash, you and me. We were taught to do this.
Get a center, Michael. You have no center.
How about you suck my cock? Huh? No, wait. We'll both get a center before that ever happens.
You are such a fucking animal! A deranged animal!
You're fucking ain't right on deranged! How could I not be?
I should have had you locked up years ago, you stupid shit!
Do it! I'll put you in the fucking ground with the rest of them.
And that's really all the time we have.
Oh.
They were winning, but at the same time, always one step away from everything falling apart. Then, in the early 90s, everything shifted again. During a night at a strip club, Michael met Amanda. She wasn't even interested in him at first. She had her eyes on someone else, but somehow Michael flipped the situation and pulled her in. Their relationship moved fast, messy, and complicated. Michael even used his illegal money to fund her breast implants, boosting her stripping and prostitution work, which only pulled them deeper into that world. Before long, Michael wasn't just involved, he was running his own prostitution operation. And somehow, in the middle of all that chaos, they got married and had kids Tracy and Jimmy all, while still stuck in that same trailer park life. This is where cracks started forming between him and Trevor. Trevor noticed the change immediately. Michael wasn't the same. He started thinking about family, questioning the life, worrying about consequences. And at the same time, Michael started seeing Trevor differently, too, not as a partner, but as a threat. Someone too unstable, too dangerous. Someone who could destroy everything he was trying to protect. Things only got worse when Brad Snider entered the picture. There was tension from the start, no trust, no real connection. Trevor even hinted that Brad once planned to cut Michael out completely, but despite everything, Trevor stayed loyal to Michael. That loyalty, though, it was about to get tested in the worst way possible. Then came 2004, the turning point that changed everything. Michael met Dave Norton, a corrupt fib agent, and together they made a deal that would rewrite Michael's entire life. In exchange for betraying Trevor and Brad, Michael would get a brand new identity, a fresh start in Los Santos, and protection for his family. All he had to do was pay Dave every month and set them up. The plan cold, calculated, and ruthless? During a planned robbery in Ludendorff, North Yankton, Dave would be waiting with a sniper rifle. Trevor would be eliminated. Michael would fake getting shot using a vest, and Brad would be arrested. Clean, simple, at least on paper. Michael would walk away free, and Dave would become a hero for taking down one of America's most wanted criminals. But this is Michael's life, and nothing ever goes according to plan. The deeper he tried to escape, the messier everything became, setting the stage for one of the most explosive betrayals in gaming history. The moment everything went wrong, it went wrong fast. Guard at the front gate was dropped instantly, no hesitation, no warning. Then just seconds later, another guard tried to get the jump on Michael, holding him at gunpoint. But Trevor stepped in and ended it just as brutally. What was supposed to be a clean job turned into pure chaos as Michael, Brad, and Trevor tried to escape, only to get swarmed by over a dozen police officers. Bullets flying everywhere, sirens screaming, forcing them to fight their way out like it was a war zone. Their driver didn't make it, cut down by police fire, so Michael had no choice but to take control himself and push the escape forward. Every second counted as he drove them toward the exact spot where he and Dave Norton had secretly planned the helicopter pickup. But even that almost fell apart when a train came crashing through, smashing into their car as they tried to dodge a police roadblock. It was the kind of moment where everything should have ended right there. Then came the betrayal, but not the way anyone expected. In the chaos, Dave pulled the trigger, but hit the wrong target.
What is wrong with you smoking in my house? You know, ever since that psychotic pal of yours turned up, you turned into an even bigger asshole.
Thank you. Your support in my difficult times means the world to me.
I've supported you. I left everything to come here with you, and still, that crazy bastard turns up.
I'll handle it.
How?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Just keep him away from me and the children, you low-life, whoremongering asswipe.
Back into my pelvis. Back. Back. Yes, there we go.
Oh!
What?
Hey, enough of that shit!
Yoga is the answer, Mikhail. But what is the question?
Why am I such a moron?
We are leaving, and we are never coming back.
Good!
You are alone, you pathetic psychopath.
Fuck you! And that phony French fucking yogi! Ah!
Brad Snider stepped into the line of fire and took the shot meant for Trevor. Everything spiraled in seconds. Dave quickly corrected it, shooting Michael as planned while Michael dropped to the ground. Acting like he was bleeding out, begging Trevor to leave him behind like it was his final moment. Trevor lost it completely. Rage took over. No control, no thinking, just pure destruction. He started dropping officers left and right, even grabbing a random woman as a hostage just to create space and survive. It was messy, violent, and completely out of control, but somehow, Trevor made it out alive. He disappeared into the shadows, believing Michael was dead, carrying that anger with him and letting it burn for years.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the lie was sealed. Michael Townley was officially declared dead, buried in Ludendorff Cemetery. But the truth, it wasn't Michael in that grave, it was Brad. It's the wrong man in the wrong place, paying the price for a plan that was never meant for him. Michael watched his own funeral from a distance, invisible, erased, while the world believed the story they were told. The reports rolled in Michael dead, Brad in prison, Trevor missing. And with that, Michael stepped into his new identity, becoming Michael DeSanta, using an old alias to build a completely different life in Los Santos. A massive mansion in Rockford Hills, money flowing, everything he thought he wanted. But none of it felt right, because the truth is, you can't just erase who you are that easily. The life he sacrificed everything for started falling apart piece by piece. Michael became miserable, stuck in a routine of drinking, sitting by the pool, wasting days away, and secretly cheating on Amanda with strippers.
Are you fucking serious, nigga? Mr. DeSanta, what the hell? That's not my house!
Bullshit.
Oh, bro, I couldn't afford a place like that. I'm a tennis coach. I hit balls for a living. I was just hiding there.
Give me a phone! You! You're a dead one! Green light! Green light! Martin Madrazo, give you green light!
Oh, I'm scared, lady. Just fucking terrified. Ah.
That perfect life turned into something hollow real quick, and Amanda, she wasn't blind to it. She saw everything and, instead of fixing it, she matched his energy, spending their money, changing herself, and cheating right back just to get even. Their marriage turned into something cold and transactional. No honesty, no loyalty, just rules. Don't ask questions, don't lose money, and don't bring it into the house. That's what it came down to. And the kids, they completely lost respect for him. Jimmy turned into a lazy, game-addicted stoner with no direction, while Tracy chased fame at any cost, desperate for attention no matter what it took. Michael hit a breaking point and turned to therapy, seeing Dr. Isaiah Friedlander, but even that felt like a scam. The sessions didn't fix anything, in fact, they made things worse. At one point, the medication had Michael crying uncontrollably. Losing control of himself, even falling asleep at the table, and acting completely out of character, it got so bad that the doctor eventually had to pull him off the meds entirely. Years passed like this, 9 long years after faking his death, nothing improved. But then, out of nowhere, everything shifted again. Right after leaving one of those pointless therapy sessions, Michael crossed paths with someone who would change everything: Franklin Clinton. At first, it seemed like nothing. It's just a random conversation, a small moment. But that one interaction quietly set off a chain reaction that would drag Michael right back into the life he thought he escaped. It didn't take long for things to escalate. Jimmy had just bought an SUV from Simeon Yatarian, a slick dealer running shady deals behind the scenes. And when Jimmy missed a payment, Simeon sent Franklin to repossess the car straight from Michael's house. Franklin slipped into the garage smooth and quiet, thinking it would be easy money, until he realized he wasn't alone.
Hey.
But... oh. Hey.
I'm sorry I spiked you, okay? I get so mad and I can't control things, and then, shit just falls on top of me. My life sucks right now, and I don't know what to do except I want to say I love you and hug it out, but all that wimpy shit is just, well, I'd say gay, but I have some friends who are gay, so that's not cool anymore, and the ones that I don't really like, it's not because they're gay, so lame, all right? You are just a lame and angry psycho sometimes. You do bad shit and things. I don't know if I love you, and I'm pretty sure I hate you a little bit, but I'm just so fucking upset that we can't even see each other. And you're just a drunk, lame dad.
You know what? That might just be the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
So will you buy me a car?
What?
Because as soon as he pulled out, Michael rose up from the back seat, hidden under blankets, gun already pointed at Franklin's head. Calm, controlled, completely in charge. No panic, no rush, just pressure. Told Franklin exactly what to do, drive straight back to the dealership. And along the way, he even started talking to him, testing him, almost like he saw something in him. Then came the moment that said everything. Still holding him at gunpoint, Michael made Franklin slam that SUV straight through the dealership's front window. Glass exploding everywhere, chaos instantly taking over. And just like that, Michael stepped back into the game, tossing Franklin some cash like it was just another day. Proving one thing loud and clear, he was never really out. Michael didn't waste a second after everything went down. He sent Franklin on his way and turned all that bottled-up rage directly onto Simeon Utarian, beating him senseless right there in his own dealership. The message was crystal clear: don't ever come near his family again. No games, no warnings, just straight consequences. It was one of those moments where you could see the old Michael creeping back out, the one he tried so hard to bury. A few days later, things looked calm on the surface, but that tension was still there. Michael was laid back in his backyard, sipping whiskey, trying to drown out Amanda and Tracy arguing inside like it was just background noise. That fake peace didn't last long though, because out of nowhere, Franklin Clinton just walked in, actually taking Michael up on that casual drink offer. It caught Michael off guard, but instead of getting mad, he was amused like he respected the boldness. They decided to head out for a drink, just two guys trying to relax, but before they could even get there, chaos hit again. Jimmy called in a panic. He had tried to sell Michael's yacht behind his back, and now the buyers had stolen the whole trailer with him still on it. That flipped a switch instantly. Michael and Franklin jumped into Amanda's car and took off, chasing them down like their lives depended on it. What happened next proved everything Michael needed to know about Franklin. In the middle of that high-speed chase, Franklin literally jumped onto the moving yacht to save Jimmy. No hesitation, no fear, just action. They managed to get Jimmy back, but the victory didn't come clean. The car gave out, the yacht was gone, and everything ended in a mess. Michael was furious on the outside, but deep down, he was impressed. Franklin had just shown him something real, but the chaos didn't stop. They're not even close.
Go away.
What?
Go watch your linear entertainment. Go watch porn. Just go away.
Shit.
Fuck you. What the fuck?
Disrespectful little asshole.
I can't believe you did that. That's my TV.
You don't talk to me like that.
I can't believe you. Mom was right about you. You don't know any better and you can't help it, but you're an asshole.
Yeah, well, why don't you do something then? Besides just stand there. Why don't you hit me?
Is that what you want, to be hit by your son?
Yeah. No. I just want you to do something. Besides, sit there.
Thank you. I'm a dancer, yeah.
Hey, man, whoa.
Plus, take me out of here.
Dad, you're embarrassing me. These are my friends.
Yeah, you're embarrassing her, dude.
Soon after, Michael walked into his own house and found Amanda in bed with her tennis coach. The guy barely had time to react before running out in his underwear. That kind of disrespect, Michael couldn't let it slide. He called Franklin again, and just like that, they were back in action, chasing the coach all the way to a luxury house hanging over the cliffs in Vinewood Hills. Michael wasn't thinking straight anymore. This wasn't about logic. This was pure emotion. He had Franklin hook up a winch to the house, and without hesitation, ripped the entire deck clean off the side of the hill. The whole structure collapsed like it was nothing. Franklin was shocked, but Michael felt justified, like he had just delivered payback the only way he knew how. Then reality hit. On the way back, the coach Colton dropped the truth. That house didn't belong to him. It belonged to the mistress of Martin Madrazo, a powerful cartel boss. That's when everything got serious real fast. Madrazo's men came hunting, but Michael and Franklin fought them off, barely staying ahead of the storm they had just created. It didn't take long for Madrazo himself to show up at Michael's house, calm, controlled, and way more dangerous than anyone yelling or threatening. Franklin tried to warn Michael this wasn't someone to mess with. Madrazo didn't raise his voice, didn't lose control. He just asked for a bat, tapped Michael with it like it was nothing, and then demanded $2.5 million for the damage. No negotiation, no discussion, just pay, or face the consequences. Michael didn't have that kind of money, and he knew it. That pressure started closing in from all sides, so he did the only thing he could. He reached out to Lester Kress. But even trying to relax after that didn't work. Sitting down watching a movie, trying to escape it all, fell apart when Jimmy started yelling upstairs over a game. Michael snapped again. He stormed upstairs, got into it with Jimmy, and when Jimmy fired back with disrespect, Michael completely lost control and threw a chair straight at the TV. That moment right there showed how broken everything had become. But just as fast as the anger came, it faded, replaced by something real: regret. He tried to fix it, apologizing, telling Jimmy he was wasting his life, trying to reconnect like a father again. He convinced him to go out to Vespucci Beach, hoping for some kind of reset. But even in the car, Jimmy kept pushing, blaming Michael for everything wrong in his life. At the beach, things didn't improve. They raced bikes to the pier, tension still high. And then Jimmy took it even further. He pointed out a yacht, casually saying Tracy was on it with producers, hinting at things that shouldn't be happening. That was it. Michael snapped again, ripping off his shirt and diving straight into the water without thinking twice. Once he got on that yacht, it was pure chaos. He started throwing equipment into the ocean, shoving people off the boat, completely losing control. He grabbed Tracy, forced her onto a jet ski, and tried to get her out of there. But it didn't end clean. Those producers came after them, turning everything into a full-on shootout on the water. Michael barely escaped, but once they hit land, nothing was fixed. Tracy and Jimmy both walked away, still angry, still disconnected. That moment said everything: he couldn't control his family, no matter how hard he tried. Later, Michael finally met up with Lester again. Lester agreed to help, but only if Michael handled something first. A job involving Jay Norris, the CEO of Life Invader. Michael went undercover as it got inside the building, played it cool, fixing computers and acting like he belonged there. Then came the real move. He planted an explosive device inside a prototype phone Lester had set up. Later, watching the live presentation, Michael made the call. And just like that, the phone exploded right next to Norris's head, ending it instantly and cutting the broadcast midstream. Cold, calculated, and back to the old ways. That move set everything in motion. Lester was ready, and together they planned a jewelry heist. Michael brought Franklin in, seeing potential in him. And the job: clean, smooth, no mistakes. During the escape, Michael even dropped that line, "You forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them, like he never left the game." They paid off Madrazo, got their cuts, and for a moment, it looked like things were under control again. But far away in Sandy Shores, Trevor Phillips saw that same heist on the news. And when he heard that quote repeated by a cop, everything clicked. That wasn't coincidence, that was Michael. Trevor knew immediately, either someone was pretending to be him, or Michael had been alive this whole time.
Davey, how you doing?
About as good as can be expected. But the news is not good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you did that fucking jewelry job.
Davey, seriously, you're imagining things.
Fuck you.
All right. I did it. Arrest me. You know what? You'll be saving my life. Because you called it, motherfucker.
What?
You called it.
Trevor.
He sent Wade to confirm it, and when the news came back that someone matching Michael's description was living in Los Santos, Trevor didn't hesitate. He was coming. Back in Los Santos, Michael's life kept spiraling. He found Jimmy's weed in the fridge. Arguments started again, and before things could settle, Manda's yoga instructor Fabian showed up uninvited. Michael instantly went at him with insults, tensions rising again like always. Then, out of nowhere, Trevor walked in. No warning, no build-up, just standing there like a ghost from the past. The room went silent, looked around at Michael's broken family, taking it all in, and casually asked, "Where's Tracy?" And just like that, everything Michael tried to bury came crashing right back into his life. Michael and Trevor Phillips pulled up to the Maze Bank Arena just in time, and what they saw instantly pushed them over the edge. Tracy was on stage, completely lost in this over-the-top, awkward performance that felt more embarrassing than impressive. Then Laszlo Jones jumped in, dancing all over her like it was some kind of joke, and that was it. Michael and Trevor snapped. No thinking, no holding back, they went straight into action. They hijacked a truck and chased Laszlo all the way down to the Los Santos River, pushing it to the limit like nothing else mattered. Laszlo's car finally gave out, leaving him stuck with nowhere to run. Trevor dragged him out, humiliated him, completely forcing him to strip and dance while recording everything on his phone. It was savage, disrespectful, and exactly the kind of chaos Trevor lived for. Michael couldn't stop laughing, but Tracy, she was beyond furious. And the worst part, Michael didn't even care, making things between them even more broken. Right after that mess, reality came knocking again. Michael got a call from Dave Norton, the same fib agent who helped fake his death. Dave wasn't playing games. He already knew Michael was behind the jewelry heist. He told him to meet at the Galileo Observatory, and when they met, the message was clear. Fib was starting to connect the dots. If their deal got exposed, both of them were finished. So Dave laid it out: simple, help him with some operations, or lose everything. Michael didn't have options, so he agreed. Just like that, he was dragged right back into a world he tried to escape. His first job? Track down a man named Ferdinand Kurimov, someone the IAA claimed was already dead.
The whole job. Everything about it. Anyone who knows your file. What is wrong with you?
Davey! Long time no see.
And what about Trevor? If that fruitcake realizes, finds out you're alive, you are D-O-N-E fucked!
Hey, don't worry about Trevor. Trevor's dead. Gotta be. Besides, I didn't have nothing to do with it. Whatever the hell it is you're talking about.
Dave knocked Michael out cold just to sneak him into the morgue, unnoticed. That's how crazy this situation got. Michael woke up mid-dash, mid-autopsy and had to fight his way out while everything around him screamed danger. He took down a coroner, searched through bodies, and eventually found Kurimov alive under another identity. He grabbed what he needed, called Dave, and escaped like it was just another day in his life. After that, he met up with Franklin Clinton and told him everything, the truth about the fib, his past, all of it. Michael even told Franklin to leave the city, get out while he still could, but Franklin didn't run, chose to stay, choosing loyalty over safety. That decision right there locked him into something way bigger than he expected. That's when Steve N entered the picture, a high-ranking fib agent, completely corrupt and playing his own game. He revealed Kurimov was alive and being held downtown, and now Michael had no choice but to work alongside Trevor and Franklin as a team. They moved fast. Trevor flew the chopper, Franklin took sniper position, and Michael rappelled down the side of the building like a professional. He broke in, grabbed Kurimov, and got out clean. The operation was smooth, but the tension between everyone, still building under the surface. Not long after, things got even darker. Michael and Trevor were called to the docks for another job. While Steve N and Trevor tortured Kurimov for intel, Michael was sent out to eliminate a target named Tahir Javan. It was cold, calculated, and showed just how deep Michael was getting pulled back into this life. After all that, Michael tried to relax, just sit back, watch a movie, smoke a little butt. Even that turned into another argument when Amanda walked in. No peace, no quiet, just constant tension. Then came Fabian again, pushing his way into their lives like he belonged there. He convinced Michael to try yoga, something completely out of his comfort zone.
Hello.
Come in.
Thanks.
You must be Michael.
Yeah.
You know, I used to have 3 secretaries. Now I have to make my own coffee and give myself a happy ending. See, the ships are coming in, but the walls will hold us.
Nelson in Naples.
Pluto? I said Mars, you cocksucker!
Shoulder of Orion. 2.
For a moment, it looked like things might calm down, but then Fabian crossed a line with a weird, inappropriate move involving Amanda. That was it. Michael tried to attack him, but ended up embarrassing himself instead, falling straight into the pool while Amanda stormed off with Fabian like nothing happened. Trying to fix something, anything, Michael later asked Jimmy to hang out. They hit Burger Shot, kept it simple, but even that turned into a setup. Jimmy got him to take a sip of his drink. That's when everything went sideways. Within minutes, Michael started losing control, feeling strange, disconnected. That's when Jimmy admitted it. He had drugged him with ketamine. No warning, no remorse. He pushed Michael out of the car, took the ride, grabbed cash, and told him he was done with him. What followed was pure madness. Michael hallucinated, completely seeing aliens, getting pulled into the sky, falling through nothingness. When he woke up, he was in his underwear, alone, confused, blocks away from home. It was one of the lowest points he had ever hit, and when he finally got back, it got worse. Amanda had left a note shy, and the kids were gone. This time for real. Everything he built, everything he tried to hold together, it was all falling apart right in front of him. But the chaos didn't stop. Trevor pulled up again, bringing a new plan of heist involving Merryweather security. They hit it clean, no mistakes, till they realized what they stole wasn't just cargo. It was a military-level super weapon. Lester Crest showed up immediately, warning them this was way too dangerous. Keeping it would mean constant pursuit, non-stop pressure, no escape. Michael and Franklin knew the risk. They agreed to return it. Trevor wasn't happy, but even he understood the heat it would bring. Then came another job, this time from N and Norton again.
They know or think they know that I'm the one that was behind the incident.
Uh-huh. And now you want me to clean up your mess again, right? Before I end up at the bottom of the ocean. Fucking good luck with that.
Put the weapons down, boys. Fun time is over. We've got you. Anti-American activity.
Put your weapons down, all of you.
Who the fuck are you with?
With me.
You fucking rat. I knew you didn't have the balls for this. For the record, I'm a patriot. I love my country.
Put the weapons down.
Fuck you. We all know you agency boys are ball deep in a plot to drive up your funding by any means necessary.
Put the guns down, gentlemen.
Who the fuck are they?
Fucking Merryweather. What are they doing here?
Steve, put your gun down.
Oh, same goddamn lake.
Go!
Fuck! Bullshit.
An armored truck full of IAA drug money. The agents couldn't handle it themselves, so Michael stepped up, suggesting a classic Blitz-style robbery. Heavy resistance, SWAT teams, chaos everywhere, but they pulled it off like professionals. Michael delivered the cash to Devin Weston, a powerful billionaire who offered him something different, a chance to work with his movie idol, Solomon Richards. That opportunity, Michael couldn't say no. With Franklin and Trevor backing him, they stole rare cars, handled business, and got Michael exactly where he wanted inside the movie industry. He finally met Solomon, got hired, and started climbing towards something legit. But even that world came with problems. Actor Milton McElroy and his agent Rocco Pelosi tried to strong-arm Solomon into changing deals. When that failed, they stalled production completely. Michael tracked Rocco down, handled him the only way he knew how: violence and pressure. Then he took Milton and the director on a wild helicopter ride, scaring them into falling back in line. It worked. Solomon respected it, even told Michael he was on track to become an associate producer. For a moment, it looked like Michael might actually build something real. But then the past hit again. Martin Madrazo called in a favor. A job involving a jet carrying someone set to testify against him. Michael took the shot remotely. Trevor grabbed the documents, but when they came back, Madrazo refused to pay. That crossed the line. Trevor snapped, attacked him, and kidnapped his wife, Patricia. And just like that, everything spiraled again. To survive, Michael had to lay low with Trevor in Sandy Shores, stuck in another situation he couldn't control. Soon after, N and Norton dragged them into yet another dangerous mission, breaking into humane labs to steal a deadly neurotoxin. To fund it, they needed equipment, so they planned another big hit, robbing the Blaine County Savings Bank in Paleto Bay. While preparing, Franklin called in with new intel, tracking down the remaining O'Neill brothers' meth operation. Trevor was still furious about their past, still holding on to that anger, and now he had a chance to finish what he started. And just like that, everything was lining up for another explosion of chaos, where every decision could push them even deeper into a situation they might not walk away from. Michael and Trevor Phillips wasted no time getting back into action. They flew out, locked in, focused, and using a thermal scope rifle, Michael started picking targets off one by one like it was second nature. 2 enemies dropped instantly. Meanwhile, Franklin Clinton, backed by Lamar's dog chop, handled the last threat with heavy weapons and stolen body armor.
Fuck you, Lester. You gonna let me in or what?
Give me a minute. You need my help.
How do you know?
Because you came here. Why else would you?
I haven't been a good friend for you, Lester. I know that.
And you're gonna make it up to me by doing whatever I ask.
It was clean, efficient, and exactly how this crew operated when everything clicked. Then came the Paleto Bay bank job. The crew hit it hard, guns blazing, overwhelming resistance, and walked out successful. but not without frustration. Most of that cash, gone, straight into the hands of Steve N. and Dave Norton to fund their Humane Labs operation. That didn't sit right with anyone, especially knowing they did all the work. While waiting for the next move, Michael and Trevor couldn't just sit still. They hit a Merryweather train packed with gold and high-value cargo, pushing things even further. Trevor derailed the train over Raton Canyon in a wild move, while Michael drove straight into the water to recover the loot. Among it was an ancient Aztec statue, something Trevor didn't even respect at first. But when Michael brought up the real dream, the Union Depository, Trevor cooled down. That was the big one, the score that could change everything. At first, even Lester Crest doubted it could be done. The Union Depository was untouchable. But Michael pushed him, challenged him, forced him to think bigger. And just like that, Lester flipped it. There was even a chance they were taking it. Then came the Humane Labs mission. The crew linked up again with N and Norton, but right before the job kicked off, N panicked, realizing they were short on manpower. Something he forgot to mention. With no other option, both agents had to get involved themselves. The plan moved fast. Michael and Norton infiltrated to grab the neurotoxin, while Trevor and Franklin secured the perimeter. Everything was going smooth, until it wasn't. The escape chopper was delayed, tension rising fast. That's when N did something wild. He shot himself in the leg to fake being a victim and buy them time. Risky, desperate, but it worked. Everyone got out alive. Back in Los Santos, after smoothing things over with Martin Madrazo, it looked like things might finally calm down. But that peace didn't last. Trevor showed up at Michael's house out of nowhere with another crazy idea: break Brad out of prison. Michael shut it down immediately, and that's when everything exploded. Trevor started connecting the dots, putting the truth together piece by piece, until it hit him. Brad wasn't locked up. He was dead. It's buried in the grave that was supposed to belong to Michael back in North Yankton. Trevor didn't wait. He took off straight to Ludendorff to confirm it. Michael chased after him, knowing what was coming. And when Trevor saw the grave, the truth hit hard. But before they could even process it, chaos showed up again. Triad members stormed in, sent by their boss Wei Cheng, who wanted to meet Trevor after the O'Neill situation. Things got weird fast. The Triads even assumed Trevor and Michael were together based on what they saw before. But that awkward moment didn't last long. A full shootout broke out. Trevor escaped, leaving Michael behind, who got captured and dragged back to Los Santos. Michael woke up tied up in a slaughterhouse, completely helpless. Cheng called Trevor, threatening to grind Michael up if he didn't show. But Trevor, still furious about the betrayal, played it cold. He told Cheng he loved Michael dearly and hung up. No rescue, no help. Cheng didn't hesitate. He ordered Michael thrown into a meat grinder. But at the last second, Franklin and Lester burst in and saved him. And that moment showed everything.
Michael, I think you finally lost your mind. Your recent behavior and the company you've been keeping already had me very concerned. Now you've taken to attacking my Fabian, who is a close friend, and then Jimmy said you took drugs while driving him in your car. Well, we've decided to move out for a while. You promised me you'd change, and you haven't changed a bit. I know you say I always act like I'm in a movie. Well, this isn't that. I think I'm gonna speak to a lawyer. I'm just really confused. Please don't try to contact us and try not to get yourself killed. Amanda.
Fuck! Despite all the chaos, loyalty still existed where it mattered. Later, Franklin pressed Michael for the truth about North Yankton. And this time, Michael didn't hide. He admitted it. He betrayed Trevor to protect his family. No excuses, just the truth. When Franklin tried to dig deeper, Michael changed the subject, bringing up Devin Weston and the unpaid job. Back at the studio, things went left again. Michael found Solomon Richards getting pressed by Rocco Pelosi and his associate. That didn't last long. Michael stepped in, chased them down, and handled both of them permanently. Solomon saw everything, and that loyalty paid off. Officially made Michael an associate producer. For a moment, Michael felt like he was finally building something real. He even left Amanda a voicemail saying he was finally doing something that mattered. Something legit. But once again, it didn't last. Steve N pulled Michael and Franklin into one last dirty job, breaking into Fib headquarters to erase files that could expose him. The job went smooth, till Michael made a bold move. He deleted his own files too. That changed everything. Just like that, N lost all leverage over him. A dangerous move, but necessary. Later, during a supposed debrief, everything went crazy. N tried to have Michael arrested. Guns came out. Tension exploded. Then out of nowhere, the IAA showed up. Rogue Fib agents joined, and Merryweather security stormed in. Total chaos, shots fired everywhere. Gen got hit in the leg, but still managed to escape after taking out Sanchez. Michael and Norton fought their way out, barely surviving until Trevor rolled in with backup. Even after everything, Trevor showed up when it mattered. He made one thing clear: he still hated Michael, but he'd hold off on settling that score if they pulled off the Union Depository job. Meanwhile, Michael tried to fix his personal life. With Jimmy's help, he managed to bring the family back together. Once things actually started looking stable, he had the house, the family, and progress in the movie industry. But Devin Weston wasn't done. He planned to destroy the movie, cash in insurance, and shut everything down for profit. Snapped. He chased Weston's lawyer all the way to the airport to recover the master copy, and in a brutal twist, she ended up getting pulled into a jet engine during the chaos. Messy, shocking, but Michael got what he came for. The movie was saved, and Solomon locked in a huge premiere. But even that moment wasn't safe. Weston showed up, completely unhinged, threatening Michael's family directly. Michael rushed home and walked into an attack. Merryweather operatives were already there. He fought them off one by one, protecting his family at all costs. After that, he sent them away, knowing they weren't safe near him anymore. The next day, standing at the pier, Michael made the call. He was ready. The Union Depository job was happening. Before that, he and Franklin handled one more situation, rescuing Lamar from a rival gang. Clean, quick, no hesitation. Then came the moment they'd been building toward the entire time: the Union Depository heist. Over $200 million in gold. The biggest score of their lives. Everything worked. After that, Michael went back to Dr. Isaiah Friedlander, only to find out the whole therapy thing was a scam. The guy had been using Michael's sessions for fame. Michael was furious. Friedlander ran and later sent an apology, which Michael completely ignored. And then everything came to a head. After the heist, both N and Weston approached Franklin with demands. N wanted Trevor Gaunt, too unstable. Weston wanted Michael Gomp, revenge. Franklin was left with three choices: kill Trevor, kill Michael, turn on both of them, and take out the real enemies instead. And if Franklin chose Trevor, everything changed. He called Michael, laid out the plan. Michael didn't stop him. He said it was Franklin's call, but he'd help if needed. Franklin tracked Trevor down to the Marietta oil fields, pulled a gun, and Trevor ran. And just like that, turned into one final, unstoppable chase that would decide everything. Franklin made the call, and Michael DeSantis showed up right on time. No hesitation, no second guessing. He slammed Trevor's truck straight into a gas tanker, metal crushing, sparks flying everywhere. Fuel started pouring out instantly, turning the whole scene into a ticking time bomb. Trevor Phillips crawled out of the wreck, furious, screaming at both of them, calling them traitors, saying they were the only real friends he ever had. But it didn't matter anymore. One shot. That's all it took. The gas ignited, flames exploded across the ground, and Trevor was engulfed in fire. As they walked away, trying to act like it was just business, they justified it, telling themselves Trevor was always unstable, always dangerous, like this was the only way it could have ended. Even Franklin threw out that cold joke. An illuminating experience, trying to ease the weight of what just happened. Michael told him to stay alive and forget the rest. But deep down, nothing about it was that simple. After that moment, everything changed. They stuck to the same story. Trevor had to go. But even with that excuse, the bond between them was gone. Michael and Franklin stopped hanging out completely. Every time they crossed paths, it felt awkward, forced, like something was permanently broken. Jimmy eventually called Michael, asking what really happened, and Michael didn't fully deny it. That was enough to push Jimmy away too. He stopped talking to his father completely. Then came the email from Ron, Trevor's loyal friend, angry, accusing, calling Michael out for what happened. But Michael didn't even respond with emotion. He marked it as spam and told Ron to stay out of his life like Trevor never mattered. Even Trevor's share from the Union Depository job got split between Michael and Franklin. More money, but at what cost? That silence between them said everything. Now, if things went the other way option, Beeve, the story gets even colder. Franklin calls Michael out to the desert, acting normal like it's just another meet. Michael shows up, unaware, even gets a call from Amanda Tracy just got into college. A proud moment, but right after that it hits him. Something feels off. He realizes the truth. Franklin didn't bring him there to talk, brought him there to end it. Michael takes off immediately, tires spinning, trying to escape. Franklin chases him down all the way to the Palmer-Taylor power station, both pushing to the limit. They end up high above ground on a narrow walkway, tension at its peak. The confrontation turns physical. Franklin gets the upper hand and pushes Michael over the edge. But then, he grabs him. Michael hangs there, one hand holding on, life literally seconds away from ending. Franklin has a choice: pull him up or let go. For a brief second, it looks like there might be another way. But Michael reacts first. He headbutts Franklin, breaking the moment completely. And just like that, it's over. He falls and doesn't come back. After that, everything collapses. Trevor finds out, Amanda finds out, Jimmy finds out, and all of them cut Franklin off completely. No forgiveness, no understanding. Michael's family sells the house, takes his share of the money, and disappears from that life completely. But then there's option C, the ending most people call the real one. The death wish choice. This is where everything flips. Franklin refuses to pick sides. Instead of killing one, he decides to go after everyone who put them in this position. He calls Lester Crest, and Lester puts together a crazy plan. Fake intel gets leaked to Steve N. and Devin Weston, saying the gold is being moved at a foundry. It's a trap hand. They both take the bait. Fib agents, Merryweather soldiers, all of them show up ready for war. But instead, they walk straight into an ambush. Franklin, Michael, Trevor, and even Lamar hit them from all sides, turning the entire place into chaos. Once the smoke clears, everyone handles their part. Trevor goes after Eno Mercy, no hesitation. Franklin eliminates Wei Cheng, cutting off that threat completely. Michael handles Stretch, making sure Franklin's past doesn't come back to haunt him. And then comes the final move. Trevor had already grabbed Weston, stuffed him in a trunk-like cargo. They drive him out to a cliff. No rush, no fear, just control. They laugh in his face, throw him off with the car, and watch it explode into the ocean. That was the end of Devin Weston. After everything, something unexpected happens. Michael and Trevor finally let it go. All that anger, all that betrayal, they bury it. Three of them agree to step away from crime and actually stay friends. Later on, Michael even gets a message from Don Percival, the CEO of Merryweather, basically thanking him for helping clean things up and secure power behind the scenes. Michael doesn't even respond. He's done playing those games. And in a rare moment of honesty, when Michael and Trevor meet again, Michael apologizes. No ego, no excuses, just real words. Even offers Trevor his share of the money. Trevor doesn't take it, but he accepts the apology. In that moment, it's real closure. Michael stays at Richard's Majestic Studios, finally building the life he wanted the right way. Years later, around 2021, there's even a small moment where Franklin passes through the studio and jokes about hoping Michael isn't working that day. It's subtle, but it shows everything. Michael made it. He survived it all and actually found his place. And that's the full story of Michael DeSanta Betrayal. Power, chaos, and redemption, all in one life. If you made it this far, you already know. Stories like this don't come around often, so stay locked in because the next one might be even crazier.